That's my girl D Woods from Atlanta. I first met her when she was a member of Danity Kane, the platinum-selling pop group that got its start on the TV series Making the Band. Now she's trying to make it on her own. She's already gained fame, but she's still working on her fortune.
I've been a part of the entertainment world since I was very young. Started off in dance school when I was about 3 years old. My sister and I got into theater. I got into recording music. I didn't even think about really getting paid from it. It was just what I wanted to do forever. Danity Kane was formed on a reality show contest. Thousands of girls tried out, and I was one of the 5 girls that were chosen. Our debut album debuted at #1 on the Billboard charts, which was totally unexpected by some, but it was what I meant to do from the very beginning. It takes a lot of money to support a pop group, especially being females, because there's the glam squad, there's the wardrobe. So it gets really expensive, and the record label either has to pay for it or we pay for it out of our pockets. I saved just to be able to conduct business. So there's a lot of things I have to pay for myself.
Before joining Danity Kane, Dee was trying to make it on her own in New York City, but she was having trouble making ends meet.
So I decided to move back home to Atlanta. But then who else was at home? My mother's gonna make my face, she's on my business. But sometimes you just have to make that sacrifice. It was a really good decision because it took a lot of pressure off me. It was definitely good for me to save because I was able to get the car that I really wanted. I call her the Mercedes. Once I did start making money, me and my mother decided to refinance the home, and so I'm paying part of the mortgage, so it's like I have equity in this house as well.
By joining forces with her mom, Dee was able to begin saving.
My mother definitely sat me down when I got my first big check, and she said, look, take this and put it over here. Forget that you even had it. And it definitely came in handy because there was a big dry spell, and it was scary.
Today she has 3 different bank accounts, which keeps her organized and makes it easier for her to budget and save.
First, I have a checking account, and I have a savings account attached to that checking account. But then I have another savings account, and that's at a credit union. Then I have a CD, which I can't touch, and that gains more interest.
A CD, or certificate of deposit, is like a savings account, except that you promise that you'll keep your money in there for a set longer period amount of time, maybe a year or even as long as 5 years, and you get usually a higher rate on a 1-year CD than you would get from a bank savings account.
I guess the concern is just how to, #1, get the money before you can save it. Being in the entertainment industry, it's not a secure income. Sometimes you'll make a lot of money in the month of November, and you won't make any money until February. 5, 6, 7, 1, 2. That's the beautiful thing about how I was trained, because my instructors always instilled in me to be a well-rounded artist. So I go from being a recording artist to being a choreographer to being an actress to being a writer, always thinking of ways to keep working. I am taking over the world.
In tough economic times, people really need to have a set savings cushion for themselves of money. And the key is to save 3 months worth of living expenses in that fund.
While it may take you a while to build that fund, remember that your savings will be earning you money. The bank pays you interest for the use of your money while it's deposited. The interest rate may be just 2 or 3% a year, but if you just stashed it at home, you'd actually be losing money, since the cost of everything is going up, and your money wouldn't be growing.
When it comes to seeing my interest grow and know that I'm saving and know that I'm building equity, it does feel good. You see those stories about people who were on top of the world at one point, and then it's like, where are they now? They're broke or they died in debt. I definitely don't want to be one of those stories, so I'm just gonna keep saving.
Dee's got her act together, but a lot of us have a hard time thinking long term when we're young.
I like to go out, so I spend most of my money, and I don't really save anything.
I definitely put a lot of money away for any type of emergency, especially within a savings account.
My mom still like, you guys like spend that paycheck on coffee, or do you want to save it for later? So I usually choose the coffee though. I'm not saving any money right now. I'm living basically paycheck to paycheck.
Those who do start saving early are putting time on their side.
My name is Maria Luisa Cortez, and I'm currently a co-owner of a Mexican restaurant called Maguila Tuna. It's a family-run restaurant. We've existed since 1992.
Maria worked in the corporate world, but was drawn back to the family business where she put all her skills to work.
This is a tradition that we do every morning. Like our first customers, we go like this. So they get our first sale, they take us with 100. Pretty good. The mission of the restaurant is to be the #1 Mexican restaurant here in the Lower East Side. It's very rare for someone my age to know these traditional dishes. The mole sauces, that's what we have to offer to the Lower East Side, to New York City. My mom does the mole the traditional way.
No usamos botes, no usamos qué. Nosotros compramos los chiles secos.
Our chiles, we do not use cans or preservatives. We grind them, we roast them. We have certain machinery from back in the day
Se llama molino.
called molino.
Esto tiene un estate de
We want our restaurant to take us to our retirement. When you're working with people that want to retire, you start thinking like what they did right and what they did wrong. My mom just showed me what she's going to be getting for Social Security, and honestly, it's very little. I'm not going to depend on Social Security. I want to be in a better situation.
When considering retirement, it can pay to talk to an expert. Maria sat down with a financial advisor to discuss her options and learn more about saving for her future.
So I'm not only thinking about myself, I gotta think about my mom, my dad, thinking about how they're gonna retire from this business.
Understood. There are two approaches. One approach is to open up a retirement plan through your business. Alternatively, you can establish an IRA account.
An individual retirement account, or IRA, is a private savings plan set up with a bank, broker, or other financial institution. Like all other retirement plans, IRAs allow individuals to set aside money each year that will earn interest tax-free.
When money is able to grow without you having to pay tax on it, it grows even faster.
My first day on my job, I went to my benefits office and I set up so that automatically a certain percentage was taken out of my paycheck before I saw it. Every single paycheck.
Another great way to save, if you work for a company that offers one, is a retirement plan that may be called a 401k. If your job offers one, you should absolutely take advantage of it. For every dollar you contribute to it, your company may match it in full or in part. Think there's no such thing as free money? Wrong. This is it.
You should start saving for retirement the day you get your first job. If they have a retirement plan, join it that day you start.
When you start in your 20s and start to save long term, even starting at 23 can make a huge difference between starting at 33. You can end up with tens of thousands of dollars more just by starting early.
All of these investment options feature a little bit of magic called compound interest. Here's how it works. Let's say when you're 23, you start saving $50 a month in a tax-shielded account that earns 7% interest. As interest gets added to the account each month, your money grows. So the next time around, you're getting 7% of a little more money. Interest on your interest. By the time you're 65, compound interest will turn your monthly investment of $50 into $154,000. But start saving early. If you waited until you were 33 to start, you'd only end up with about $72,000. Maria has a lot to consider as she helps her parents prepare for retirement and plans her own.
I would like to retire at 55. I would like to live in Mexico. I want to go back and forth to New York because I want to see my family. I see myself relax in my summer home in Mexico.
I didn't get serious about saving for retirement until I turned 30. But I wish I had started sooner, not just for myself, but for my kids. Kids give you something to think about besides yourself. But how can you provide for them if you get sick or aren't able to work?